Welcome to Above the Rest Outdoors. This week we're still in Arizona. It took me 7 years to draw this tag. I think it's going to take me 7 years to kill an elk on this trip. At least it's looking that way so far. Some of the obstacles we've had on this hunt would have to include the rain. And then more rain. And then we've also run into quite a few other hunters. We've also ran into some hikers, ATVs, and one really mad rattlesnake. When we finished up last week, we were starting to get on some elk. We'd had one that just walked up on us, another one that we called in, but he began barking at us. See, I wonder if he had two others that just came in and laid down on us. And then we had a really nice one, but he got downwind of us. We've got 3 days left to fill my 7-year tag, and to say the least, I am ready to get my Z7 to full draw. Well, we're still in Arizona. It's still raining, even though the sun is out now. You cannot believe the roads in Arizona to get here. Hence why we're doing our first interview at 7 o'clock in the morning, because we've been stuck in a mud hole. It has rained every day that I've been here, usually about 3 times a day throughout the day, thunderstorms. But anyhow, and then to compound that, we just set up to call to a log and we couldn't get it to move. Stupid thing, you know, but what do you do? So we're back over here where Scott and those guys were the other day, and then where we called this bull in last night. Gonna sneak across here, hopefully spot one or hear him, and then try to call one in. So stick with us, we're still after him. We ain't giving up yet. I didn't think it was possible, but this hunt's going from bad to worse. The highs and lows of hunting. This is low. It started when we almost killed a really nice bull yesterday. That was the high. And then it began to rain. And then it began to rain really hard. That was the beginning of the low. Because then it rained all night long. And then we got stuck because of the rain trying to get to where we were going hunting. Then we get to where we were going hunting and we can't find an elk, can't hear one. Then we have hunters walk up on us from 2 different directions. So yesterday was the high, today is the low. We're waiting for the next high to see when it comes. It does possibly look like, can't see everywhere, that the rain clouds may finally be done, but they have now saturated the ground to the point that sitting on a water hole is not going to work, because the whole daggone state of Arizona is underwater. The elk have snorkels, flippers. You know, I don't think I've ever been anywhere that it's rained this hard for this long. But the next high is right around the corner. When we find these wallows and these rubs, I know we are in the right area to find us a bull. So Scott and I both start calling. Takes a little while. We look to our right, up in the rocks. Here comes a bull. You see him, don't you, Cameron? I'm recording. Okay. The way this bull's acting, seems like he's pretty fired up. So for a few minutes, so am I, because I think he's going to come in for me to get a shot. Well, it's finally looking like everything is going to come together.
Matthew shooters Lee and Tiffany Lakoski know that it takes years of hard work cultivating, planting, and managing quality food plots to produce the right hunting environment that attracts monster bucks.
With the helium, got my biggest buck to date on the ground. And that's why I shoot a Matthews.
Matthews, trusted by more serious hunters and professional archers.
And that's why we shoot a Matthews.
We just put the hex on one and smoked them.
He really doesn't need to smell my hat, does he?
Hex Stealth Screen, scientifically changing the way hunters stay undetected.
If you're a hunter, you're part of a great legacy of conservation leadership. I'm Craig Morgan, and I'm inviting you to help me carry our legacy one step further. Join and support the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, a conservation unit for hunters and people who care about wildlife, wild places, and outdoor adventure. So join us. Here's how.
One low price, plain and simple always. It's the philosophy that sets our dealership apart. Hi, I'm Jared Gandard, owner of Kalispell Toyota. Our philosophy came from you. We listened to what you liked and disliked about buying a vehicle. You'll find our best price clearly displayed on every vehicle on our lot. No back and forth, no sales gimmicks. 18 or 80, good credit or not so good. You'll get the same best price up front, in writing, every day. Best price, another reason why Kalispell Toyota is #1 in Northwest Montana.
Independent tests confirm that the pins on a black gold are 20% brighter than the next brightest bow sight. So bright that we had to use photochromatic technology to dim the pins in bright light. In low light, while the pins on other bow sights are growing dim, the pins on a black gold sight are still perfectly bright. Be the last one out of the woods at night. Get a black gold sight.
Above the Rest Outdoors is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Well, it's looking like everything's finally going to come together. This bull's acting like he's going to do exactly what he's supposed to.
He's a nice bull. It was fun watching him come in and rake the tree like he was raking. Scott did a great job of calling to him, but then I watched him up there. He just lost interest and started feeding. Goofy elk, I don't understand.
I guess he's just not as tough as he acts, because he sure won't come anywhere near Scott. It's day 6 in Arizona. I think it'd be an understatement to say the elk are winning. They are not just winning. They are stomping us into the ground. They are kicking our butts up and down the field every day. Redemption is laying about 150 yards out in front of me. We have not only found an elk in Arizona, we have found one of those Arizona giants. Well, we know this bull's got about 10 or 15 cows with him, so there's no point in throwing a cow call at him. So we have Scott back up behind us. He's going to get on the bugle, see if we can challenge this dude. He's plenty big enough. He sure should be the top dog around here. We found this big bull bedded on the hillside with a bunch of cows. But when we threw a couple calls at him, he got up, rounded up his cows, across the canyon he went.
He's getting those cows up and make them move, Buzz.
Well, that didn't go how it was supposed to. Scott blows 2 or 3 bugles, and this huge bull grabs his cows and just moves away. That's hunting, though. Well, we know that big bull didn't go very far. All he did was push his cows across the canyon, and they're bedded on the other side now. It's now the afternoon of day 6. That means we only got a day and a half left to kill an elk.
All right. It's typical Arizona. We have a big bull located, and it rains every day in Arizona. Or at least when David Holder is in town, which it's doing right now. But when bulls are bugling and you are off from your normal job, it means you chase elk regardless of the weather. So that's what we're gonna go do. We got a herd elk on top of this hill that we left this morning. Several small bulls and 1 giant bull. We're gonna see if we can put Scott to work and kill us an elk. So up the mountain we go.
Well, the way I figure it, we don't have any other choice. Bull's obviously not going to come to any calls. It's not coming to a bugle or a cow call. So what we decided to do, set up in an area where we think he's coming out to feed. Just hope that we pick the right trail. Before we left, we had found this bull earlier in the day. We found this big bull bedded on the hillside with a bunch of cows. When we threw a couple calls at him, he got up, rounded up his cows, across the canyon he went. Good thing for us, he's kept bugling all day, so we know right where he is. We figured out calls don't work on this bull, so the only thing we can hope for is that we can pick the right spot where they're going to come out and feed this afternoon. Hope that maybe we can just use a little tiny cow call or something like that just to pull him over to us. When all his cows started passing us at 70, 80 yards, I knew we'd missed the mark ever so slightly one more time. We realized pretty quickly we're not going to get a shot at this elk. However, just catching him on video, something special. This is a big bull. I don't care where you're hunting at. Any area in Arizona or any other state for that matter, this is a shooter anywhere you go. When that big bull walked off on day 6, I really thought this is about as low as you can get on an elk hunt. We had 1 day left in this hunt. I wasn't sure what our plan was going to be. It seems like we'd almost exhausted every option possible. Well, day 7, the last day, starts off with a beautiful sunrise, but even better, lots of bulls bugling.
Yeah, let's go. Sorry, but we gotta go now.
But it doesn't take long, and day 7 morning is ruined.
It is the last day. We had several bulls bugling this morning up here on top. We thought we heard a pickup truck come in from the other side, but we kept working our bulls and the wind was wrong, so we made a 3/4 of a mile loop, I would guess, all the way around to get the wind right. And then while we're doing that, another herd of elk came in, so it was looking really good. And then all of a sudden the whole herd is running at us and ran right by us and down the mountain and around this side, because another hunter came from the upwind side, parked his truck right where they were this morning, And then I could hear it blowing cow calls. That is an alarm bark. So he's not helping us any this morning. But we have heard a bugle right down here. But we're a little worried about how the elk are going to respond right now because they just got jumped. So we need God to help us. I know he likes elk, but I think he likes me too. So
If we're going to kill an elk today, God's just going to have to hand us a miracle. We decide we're going to spend the rest of the day following this herd. Whatever it takes, wherever they go, we're just going to keep up with them. We're not going to call to them. We're not going to try and set up. We just want to go wherever they go. When they finally get comfortable and settle down, we'll move in and try to start calling. Lucky for us, with this many bulls in this herd, no problem hearing them.
all right, so it's 5:35, about an hour before dark. Last day of Arizona. We have a big group of elk bugling below us. But the reason they're bugling below us is because it's the same herd that some person walked over on this morning when we were trying to set up on them. And then they got jumped again this afternoon, I think by two different groups of people in a truck driving down the road. And they have just kept going. Cameron and I just kept following them. And into this canyon, now they've holed up, but I can't bring them back. Now there's another hunter down here. That's a hunter.
When I hear the other hunters calling to these elk, and I look down at my watch and we have only got 1 hour left on our Arizona elk hunt, it is time to move around the edge of this herd, get in close, and give it one last ditch effort. When you have a hunting question, we have a solution. When you want to know when, where, or how. Most of all, why should you believe us? We make our living looking for your answers. AboveTheRestOutdoors.com.
This is high-speed footage of the Ripcord Code Red and a competitor's fall-away arrow rest. Both fall as designed, but watch what happens to each launcher arm after fall-away. Ripcord's drop-dead brake stops any launcher bounce back, while the competitor's launcher arm bounces back up into the arrow. This will affect arrow flight and broadhead accuracy. Eliminate launcher bounce back with Ripcord Code Red, the #1 fall-away rest.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Hagan. Summertime means long days and short nights, so it's more important than ever to get the quality of sleep your body needs to maintain a healthy lifestyle. The Beauty Rest Recharge sleep system provides pressure point relief, freedom of movement, and temperature management, giving you the support your body needs to wake up fully charged. Recharge your body with a True Energy or Comfortpedic mattress set and get 48 months interest-free financing from Sleep City.
Sleep City. Above the Rest Outdoors is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Earlier I said for us to kill an elk on the last day, it was going to take a miracle. Well, when we found these elk, and then some hunters found the elk as well, I didn't think that miracle was going to happen today. With 45 minutes left in the day, and I will say I probably had kind of given up hope, I look down and I can see the legs of an elk coming back to us. I guess that would mean we should never underestimate the power of prayer. Can you believe it? After all this, it actually looks like it might be working. there's a bull heading our way. This is the last hour of the 7th day of our Arizona elk hunt. I can tell you right now, it doesn't matter if this is a spike. If this bull walks up and gives me a shot, we're taking it.
That is going to be the proudest small bull I've ever killed. Lord. We literally have less than an hour, 45 minutes. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Oh my gosh. Cameron, I don't know.
I don't know what to say.
I'm never speechless, and I'm speechless on this one.
This definitely ain't the biggest bull I've ever killed, but I can tell you with everything we dealt with this week, I am one proud hunter and dang glad to be putting him in the truck.
The last 40 minutes, any bull would have worked, and this one was fantastic. He didn't come in bugling and carrying on because you can hear all the big dogs back behind him, but he came in nonetheless and allowed us to take an elk. Cameron and CNS Outfitters and Scott had to go home earlier today, but these guys have busted their butts for me, and I truly appreciate it. It is tough goings out here. We have had the run-ins with people hunting and no elk, and we thought we were going to be sitting in water holes. So we're here the first week of September, or the first week that the September season is open, and it has rained every day. Not one day got missed. And we still managed to get, this is the 4th bull that we've had within shooting range. And wait till you see some of the ones we didn't kill. Some dandies. But when this one came in, and it being the last day, we better shoot an elk, huh?
Thanks for watching Above the Rest Outdoors. Make sure you tune in next week as we chase big whitetails in Illinois. I sure hope it's not raining there. Man, I hope it doesn't take me 7 days to kill a deer.
You're thinking, I haven't seen anything. Neither have we.
I always took my quiver off.
I always took my quiver off.
I used to hunt with my quiver off.
Why do so many bow hunters detach their quivers? To avoid accuracy affecting torque. Tight Spot is the first low torque quiver. It fits tight to your bow, is extremely lightweight, and means virtually no torque.
Now, I hunt with my Tight Spot quiver on.
It acts as a stabilizer.
You'll shoot better with your Tight Spot quiver on than you ever did with your old quiver off.
Tight Spot, the quiver that fits tight to your bow.
If you're a hunter, you're part of a great legacy of conservation leadership. I'm Craig Morgan, and I'm inviting you to help me carry our legacy one step further. Join and support the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, a conservation unit for hunters and people who care about wildlife, wild places, and outdoor adventure. So join us. Here's how.